Verizon's new mobile video service, Go90, has just picked up its first major advertising commitment. Publicis is signing a year-long deal worth $50 million. Now, AOL is emphasizing code and data as its secret sauce in a bid to control the future of advertising. I sat down with AOL President Bob Lord today, and I asked him about AOL and its parent company Verizon's bet on Go90.
It's a bit of Netflix meeting Snapchat meeting Twitter. So basically, it's a place where an audience can go, consume exclusive content like the NFL, Awesomeness TV, clip and share it within their own network like you could do on Snapchat, and then sort of express yourself on top of it. So we're pretty excited about the app. I believe it's going to bring us a really interesting and unique audience that is really hard to reach on the web, and we believe that this exclusive content is going to sort of draw that audience in.
I feel like you guys are in an interesting role where that's not well understood, which is where you sit between the content creators and the advertisers in some ways like an agency used to.
Advertisers want us to get to audiences for them. We want us to get to tribes of audiences, and what we're using with our programmatic platform, our automated media buying platform, is using data to inform to get to those audiences. So to deliver more content, more appropriate content to them, and then ad experiences on top of that.
Feel free to geek me out with the details if you want, but what do you call it, tribes of audiences? What's a tribe of an audience?
No, tribes is a similar likes
Cleveland
and dislikes.
Indian fans.
No.
Okay.
No, but it's basically audiences that have similar interests and behaviors. So you have a particular interest and behavior. I'm not advertising particularly to you. I'm advertising to people that are around you that have probabilistic behaviors that are similar to yours. So we group those tribes together, or those audiences.
And they might not all congregate at the one website that goes. They're not all going to Slam Magazine. They might go to like-minded sites, or they have exhibit similar behaviors. It's not limited to their demographic.
Yeah. So you can use an example. Somebody may like a coffee brand. That coffee brand has an affinity with a car brand. That car brand has an affinity with a hotel brand. You can actually understand what those affinity groups are. We call them tribes. And then you can actually group them together, and then you can use data to actually inform what more content we want to provide to them. So what do they like out of the Huffington Post? What do I parcel more to provide them with more content? And then on top of that, then I can go to a brand and I can say to the brand, look, I have this affinity group. This is right in your sweet spot of who you want to reach. How do you want to reach them with good, valuable advertising?
How many tribes make sense for you in terms of the way you market it? Because it could be limitless.
Yes.
It could be 3.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you figure what the right numbers are?
Look, I think we're going beyond demographics, right? So typically when you look at sort of how you advertise on TV, you're looking at age demographics, okay? Or you're looking at zip code, or you're looking at sort of the geolocation. We're going beyond that. I want to know their behavioral characteristics of what are they doing, what's the content that they're consuming. So it's really limitless, right? Which is why you need technology to go and target those particular groups of people. We're looking for like behaviors. Once we understand like behaviors, I understand what's driving their personality. And by the way, I can swap out different creative. So certain creative may work for one tribe that doesn't work for another tribe.
There's a point at which it gets to be too much. I had a job once designing the application for the American Express Gold Card, testing the size of the check boxes in like 8 different versions.
Yeah.
And it was just it was maddening.
Yeah.
But it was a very important thing to the American Express, obviously, and that was what those kind of testing went on.
But think about it, if we can use technology to do that testing, why wouldn't you optimize to the right checkbox size? Instead of having a manual person do it, which I think is where we're sort of in the middle now. We got a lot of manual work going on in the media business right now. If we can use technology to sort of get that labor out of the system, we can then optimize better than ever before and bring results to brand.
Why Verizon? What does Verizon get out of this kind of process?
Number one, Verizon was our largest client, okay, as AOL. Verizon was our alpha with our monetization platform, or our media stack platform. They understood the value that we were bringing to them. They basically said to themselves, okay, what could we do differently that would help to change the media landscape, okay? And one of the things they have is they have great data. They have mobile-enabled data that's an authenticated person. I know that person, and I know when that person is on their phone or when I know that they're on their display. It's all opt-in data, so I'm not violating anyone's privacy. But the data was sort of unlocked. And what they've done with AOL is we're actually going to be able to take that data and unlock that data on behalf of all brands and all advertisers. So what they saw was they actually saw a way of taking our media platform and expanding it. So what Verizon allows AOL to do is really sort of accelerate what our strategy is with that data, as well as now we have almost 500 million reach globally with our partnership with Microsoft and NBCU.
And finally, I would imagine Google has similar data because of Android.
It's a little slightly different. Google has a set of data. Facebook has its own set of data. I believe our data and what we're going to have and sort of the authenticated record, the digital mobile record, is slightly different than the rest of the industry. And we're really excited to sort of unlock it in this next quarter on behalf of advertisers.